afternoon, everybody. How are we doing today? Welcome, as always, to Disco Elysium. I mean, it's not always Disco Elysium, but you're always welcome. You know what I mean. We're going to be getting back into this. This game continues to surprise me, and I find that it occupies my thoughts even when I'm not playing, which is always a good sign. It's a very interesting game, and I find myself trying to solve problems, even when I at least thinking through problems, and it's interesting. I'm really enjoying it. So let's switch over. You'll notice I've added a follower goal at the bottom. It's not super important, but I do want to hit. I do want to grow my followers. Starstorm already? Very exciting, Summer. And let's get some game audio. As always, let me know if any of the audio is out of balance, if I'm too loud, if the game's too soft, whatever. And let's get back to it. So last stream we found our way into the apartment building with the guy who was smoking, and unfortunately we couldn't really do much, and it was suggested that we come back tomorrow after 9 p.m. So not much more we can do with him yet, but there are still things we can do. Today. It's 8 p.m. And 9 p.m. today, I can get my debriefing with Kim, which is going to be very useful. However, there were a couple of doors in this apartment building that I hadn't looked at yet, and that's certainly something to explore. Oh? Flip up glasses, +1 logic, -1 authority? What? So people like me less, but I'm smarter. Or people respect me less. An old shoe rack. Boots, sneakers, old slippers. Apartment 12. A loud rumbling snore comes from within. Snoring is scary somehow. You should leave. Okay. Oh! I'm surprised that just opened. What updated here? Oh yeah, visit apartment 28 sometime after 9 p.m. See if anyone's home. These shower curtains are covered in some sort of slime. Lovely. Ooh. +1 physique, -1 morale for alcohol. I don't have to drink it. And some money, which is always good to have. I mean, is that true? It could be true. I really don't know. Someone has drawn a 5-pointed star on the wall. That isn't just a 5-pointed star. It's an inverted white pentagram, cradled in the wreath of antlers. The iconography of communism, in other words. Check the symbol closer. Star and Antlers was developed in the 6th decade of the last century and quickly adopted by Mazov and the communards during the revolution. You're not wrong, unfortunately. Even today, half a century after, the Star and Antlers retains the ability to evoke hope, disappointment, and fear in equal measure. Why is the star upside down? To symbolize the toppling of the old order. What's the deal with the antlers? The wreath of antlers represents a natural crown. It is about building society that could exist in accord with the natural world, and at the same time above it. Why white? Because white is the color of peace. And what does it evoke in me? Oh! Oh, good! Gone. Gone is the glory of hope. Only the scribblings of impoverished students remain in dirty hallways. Well, let's get a little bit of morale back. That was unpleasant. Padlock door. Knock? No reply. It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. A solid pair of chain cutters could make short work of it. Better whip out those cutters. You won't get very far otherwise. Yeah, -10, tool not in hand. I mean, that makes sense. Chain cutters. Still only a 42% chance. I'm shocked. Yeah. What are you doing? You're trying to cut the body of the lock with the chain cutters and it's not really working. I believe it's the shackle you mean to cut, Detective. The lieutenant points to the corroded loop with the gloved finger. How did I fail to... He's just trying to help. Don't take it bad. Relax. Don't you think that's what I'm trying to do? Or these chain cutters are broken? I don't think they're broken. Perhaps you should give it another go. 58% even. Success, finally. The shackle snaps like a twig, and the lock falls to the floor with a little thud. It should be possible to enter now. After you, Detective. Oof. This is an inauspicious start. Interesting. More communist stuff. Flamboyant poster of a white bear. Real lithography. Books of critical theory on the monstrosities of capital and such. Photos of revolutionaries posing with guns. Revolutionaries love to pose with their guns. There's not much in here, interestingly. Except a bullet. Ooh, and a lounge jacket. I might actually like to wear that. It's nicer than the one I'm wearing now. Like, does my jacket give me... Okay, so it does give me sorry, it's called the Disco Ass Blazer. I love that. So, this would give me better conceptualization, but not much else. Hang on, why haven't I been wearing my gloves? There's like no negative aspect to them. I didn't realize clothes affected your stats, so... That was a miss on my part. Oh wait, shoes? Can I steal shoes? I can steal money from shoes. More money! You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10. The walking stops abruptly, but no one comes to the door. You can feel tension on the other side. This time the steps come closer. Who is this? Demands a female voice, wary and tense. This is the police, open up. Do I have to open the door? You hear the clacking of heels again, as the other side walks right up to the door. Her tone is now getting a defensive edge. Do you have a warrant? I'm not obligated to open the door if you don't have a warrant. Let's go, the lieutenant says. We don't have a reason to get inside that apartment. Yeah, but that's kind of suspicious. Ooh, a postcard, which I could potentially sell, but might be useful for other reasons. Fuck yeah, there's so much money in this place. Apartment number 8, their mailbox is overflowing. I'm guessing not a lot I can do. Like, probably whoever it is has left. A note reads, foreclosed by Martinez Realty Associates. Where did Kim go? Oh. Shift in temperature. The air chills around you. Dust settles on the stony floor. Rub your sides for warmth. A former architect stands before a slice of window, a room plan in her hand. A cold wave has made the air in the building stand still and frozen, with temperatures falling to -20. Her face is red from the cold. She's breathing on her fingers, clasping the plan. Traces of sadness are visible in her expression. The plan, faint pencil lines on paper, depict the same place, but a missing eastern wall connects the room with the neighboring apartment. Ideas for arranging the furniture have been jotted down. It's clean and empty, with new tapestry embellishing the walls. A standard HB graphite pencil has fallen off a three-legged stool in the middle of the room. Steech, I love you. This is really... I'm loving this exploration. I know... Like, I don't even know to what extent this is important, but it builds the world so beautifully. An old grocery list on the table. And checks. Interesting. More healing items. And a couple more sets. Nothing huge, but, you know. There's a second balcony up here. And I think that's probably where the painting girl was. Yes, this is definitely that balcony. Cindy, that's it.
Learned how to saunter up staircases.
Ooh.
I didn't think you could do that with hooves, but here you are.
Of course you can do that with hooves. Fun fact. Cows can go upstairs, but not downstairs. It's a weird thing. That's right. We've evolved.
Yeah, I can see that. Cool mutations.
That smell coming from her paint bucket. It's not paint. It's heavy fuel oil. Is that heavy fuel oil? Kim studies the contents of Cindy's bucket. Red dyed heavy fuel oil intended for exclusive use in government vehicles, to be precise. What did you think I was using? Aquarels? Sucked it out of a cop's fuel tank myself back in Jamrock. She really did. She's proud of it too. Fumes are bad for you, okay? Something to think about next time you're driving around in your pretty little piggy carriage. Okay, you know what? That's actually fair. Actually don't need the wire cutters anymore. And I can use booze if I ever need to punch somebody. Don't forget to click the orbs around your head. They have surprises. I hate the way it says that. Anyway, I'm still way away from getting 20 Real tonight, so I'm gonna have to find a place to sleep. Someone's been sleeping here recently. Cindy? Doesn't seem like her kind of place. Enough coal to last for several winters. Smells of chemicals. Oh? Laborer's jeans, sure. Sure, I guess. This is locked. Can't interact with this? Nope. Okay. So, this is potentially somewhere I could sleep if I'm too poor to afford an apartment. Not an apartment, a hotel room. It's certainly a thing to consider. I wonder if I can speak to Cindy about that room. If she does actually sleep there.
Hello again, officers.
Is that bed in the coal room yours? Oh, not only have you found my address, you've discovered my biggest secret. I'm a coal miner. Don't you have a real home? Does anyone in a city like this? If there's pain about any particular home she's lost, she's buried it deep, fortified herself against it. It's not the nicest place, but I guess it'll have to do. It doesn't have to do anything at all. Nothing does. She looks at the paint dripping down the wall. Like me. Right now, I'm not doing anything at all. Fine, I'll take the bait. Really? You're a miner? Yes. I keep hoping a shaft will collapse on me, but somehow it never happens. Wait, was she not being sarcastic? Is she actually a miner? Because that would be very interesting. Whoops. Keyboard controls are not perfect. The lock is rusty, you can't get in. And unlike other places, there's not much I can do about it. Above, tarps flap in the wind. Forgotten hammers and nails rust. Okay, so apart from talking to Cindy, there doesn't seem to be much to do up here. Yo, Zach! It is going pretty well. How's it going with you? I'm just following some breadcrumbs. There was one more door I wanted to check, which was an exit door. Over here. That leads up to the balcony, but this is the exit. And I'm curious where this exits to. Okay, sometimes the stair controls are just real fiddly. Thank you, Summer. That's cool. Yes! I finally found where she is. Which suggests that she lives in those apartments.
Trying to snuff me out? Get away, pig.
I feel like I've already been here? I have already been here. So okay. That door must just have been locked before or something like that. Another splattering of bullet holes on this wall. Spread patterns of these bullet holes make your chest ache. Your breath goes heavier. These bullet holes look like the bullet holes we saw before. Bullet holes generally look the same, so probably. I fucking love Kim. He leans in to inspect the wall. But you're alright. More old bullet holes from the revolution. How many people got shot during that revolution? Plenty. That is an unpleasantly straightforward answer. Nothing to do down there. And I can't get up there. Which is interesting, because I saw someone else playing, and they were up there. So, I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that. Anything else around here I can interact with? There's this wall. In the dimming light, things become clearer. Cindy's artistic impulses are infectious. That's still only an 8% chance. Let's see what I've got that can improve my conceptualization. That's +1 conceptualization. I can put on my fancy jacket, which will also do that. And let me heal up 1 morale first, just in case this hurts my morale. 17% chance is low, but not impossible. Fuck it. Nope. You have no clue. It's just a wall. So many walls all over Martinez. Weather worn, cracked, their paint peeling. Well, I can try to improve my conceptualization for another time. There was one more place that I didn't bother to check out, which was silly of me. So let's go check that out now. Ooh. Game is chug-a-lugging just a little bit. And I'm not sure why. Is this bookstore still open? It is. I didn't bother to check the bookstore. For some reason, my brain just went, bookstore, probably nothing important. I think so. I'll have to check that. Yeah, the man from Helmdall series. Display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Helmdall somewhere. Look through the display of books. Rows and rows of Dallerman blur your vision. You make out some titles. Man from Helmdal and the Mammoth Riders. Man from Helmdal returned to Helmdal. And the solipsistic Man from Helmdal and the Helmdal Man. Enough. Okay, I'm done. Do any of the books call out to me? A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eyes start twitching. Ugh, what is it? Your hand reaches toward a book with a glossy cover art of the very muscular Man from Helmdal in chains, kneeling in front of a staircase leading to a throne. A woman sits on the throne, leering at the man. She's laughing at him, belittling him. Between the throne, heck, juice. Yes, that's money. What? Juice, why do you have to be so cute and good all the time? Oh. I need to do something quickly. I did not mean to do that in caps. But it worked. Hi, Griffin. How goes? Between the throne and the Helmdalaman lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The title reads, Man from Helmdal and the Devil Woman. Aren't all women devil women? Good, Juice, you should. How dare. Yell using your emotes. Especially those leering types who seem to wear nothing but an armored bikini. There's also some sort of snake lizard beast slithering around her abdomen, chest, shoulder region. The display rack before you is burdened under... Oh, okay. Interesting that I can buy that one that... Gift books and molten candy. Molten? That is not a word I would ever use for candy.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. My name is Plaisance.
What an odd name. Hello.
Be welcome. And please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space.
A golden pendant hangs around the woman's neck in the shape of what looks like a tiny fish head trapped in amber. Interesting. Possible reference to something else? Yes, it is. It is the only one of my emotes that I drew, which is to say, copied, but I very much like it. Well, crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. That's what they sell. You seem to be well off enough. Can you give me some money? I feel there won't be an opportune moment to ask later.
Sir, don't be ridiculous. I certainly will not give you money. I would be doing you a grave psychic disfavor.
Look, I'm Hobocop. I can ask.
Earn one success, even if one is a police officer. Handouts are nothing but manipulation. All they do is make you dependent.
Son, you got destroyed there. What an idiot you are. Curious pendant you're wearing.
Helps to have an anchor in these times.
Interesting. Are you the owner?
I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture.
The voice is high-pitched, as if to give it more penetration. Who's the little girl standing outside? Her daughter. Oh, she isn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl? Of course. Did you talk to her? I did. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her? Her opinion of her daughter depends on how well she lured you into the store. She's definitely polite and helpful. I'm not going to be mean. My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. She's immensely satisfied with the answer. If you have children, I hope they turn out to be as great as my Annette. The way you're handling her strikes me as wrong. Yeah. I'm here to dismantle the free market and abolish child slavery. Child labor. She rolls her eyes. You must be kidding. There's nothing like that happening. Depends, how much do you pay the kid? Good sir, what does a young child do with money anyway? No, I save it for her as a fund. She's securing her financial future out there. Are we done with the jokes now? Yes, we've had quite enough fun here, right? The lieutenant taps his foot. Let's change the subject. Farewell for now, book peddler. The book collects the national recipes of ardor. They're all about lake trout. Mountain of board games. Small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related media. Look through the pile of Wirral-related items. An endless variety of source books, lore books, and codices litter the table. Okay, Wirral is D&D. The topmost book is titled Welkin Compendium 2nd Edition. Yes, it's definitely D&D. God, I hope so. Although, wait, was You Don't Know Jack a physical game? Because that's cool. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Cutoak, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a Pick Your Path adventure game book titled The Tales of Wirral, Cavern of Velkrag. Anything that really catches my eye? There's a box that says Wirral, 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplements Module. The side panel notes a fantastic adventure board game. New maps and miniatures. Sticker on it displays 25 real. Good lord. Juice, I'm asking you. I have no idea. I know very little about You Don't Know Jack. Nonsense for anemic binoclards. It's so fucking mean. It's a bookstore. I was maybe hoping they had a map. Old sports magazines tucked away in a dark corner. But I see no evidence of that yet. Shelf of crime novels. These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over and over. Crime fiction is a disgrace, an asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes and the arduous everyday work of actual police officers. Aw, that's kind of sad. Like, I feel like a physical Jackbox whatever would be great. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends. Furthermore, they have no idea how hard it is to simply remove a body from a tree. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of, year after year, coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of the books found on the shelf? Oh god, no. Quaint picture book brochure. Very colourful. It's a tome of fascist magic. Rather candid. Biographies of famous people. Browsing through all the books with all their names makes your head spin. None of these seem important or relevant. It's all just vapid egoism. Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob and Elfie Delatraz, by one Cecilia Averbrook. What's it about? High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. One of them is the madcap driver, Jacob His blonde mane graces the cover. Next to life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs and cocaine into the other. Oh, that's not going to be a good time. Next to that, Revicolian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real-life crime and ruining cops' days. I really must insist you buy one of the books. You're interrupted by the shopkeep. Reading them is not for free. Do still browse through, but not too long. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead, take your time. Time is commerce. I hate her. I hate her. I think that's an okay thing to say. Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insuland, a map of Revicol, and a map of Martinez. Look at the map of Revicol. The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the River Esperance. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. La Delta, says a great artificial heart in the center, teeming with life forms and construction. To the east, rolling hillsides. Le Jardin, Stella Marie, the suburbs of Saint Baptiste swallowed up into the megacity. They sound rich to you. This is Revicol East. And west of the river? Coran. It's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Faubourg. It's almost as bad and much larger. Then Coal City. It's the worst. And Martinez? It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait, there it is. North of Jamrock, the strip of coast next to the greater Revicol Industrial Harbour. It looks downright despondent. It's almost Coal City, to be honest. No, Coal City is worse. A charred limb. Rain falls on its slick black streets. And then there's the burnt-out quarter in the heart of Jamrock. Is it cold in this bookstore, or is it just you? No, this is somewhere to be. This is all you have, but it's still something. Streets and sodium lights. The sky, the world. You're still alive. Map of Martinez. It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. A picture postcard with buildings on it drawn from an isometric perspective. The date in the upper right corner says 48. Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of an industrial harbour, even the whirling in rags there. Storekeep, can I buy these maps? I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. Besides, you could scarcely afford them. Oh. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. Map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. You seem to underestimate my resources. You do not. Why is the one of Martinez so cheap? That old thing? It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps. What happened then? They didn't get far for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business. 28% chance to steal it. I can spend the 90 cents. It's not going to be a major issue. She nods. Always good to be informed of your surroundings. Finally, I got the map. That's kind of all I've been looking for. Another boring book just discarded here. And what is behind door number 1? You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
What's behind the curtain? Nothing. Now please go back to browsing books. She fiddles with her pendant. Don't feel compelled to look at the books. The books are all you care... don't you feel compelled to look at the books? The books are all you care about. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become. Examine the strange cage-like trinket. You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there's nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtain remains shut before you. Pull open the curtains. Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more. Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limit for the customers. Her hand is closed around her pendant, her fingers nervously playing with the talisman. She had a book on, like, magic, and I'm slightly terrified. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous. She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people? Ma'am, this is different. I'm a police officer. I need to get in there. I sense this place calling for me. I must investigate beyond the threshold. Oh god, it has to be that one. You do? She grabs her pendant again, visibly shaken. My god, even more reason to not mess with the curtains. Please, just step away, dear. I don't care. You can't stop me. I'll open them. I'm slightly terrified. No! She raises her hand to try to stop you. Please just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's talk through this before you decide to do anything extreme. Lies. Rip them open, we say. Half-light is not the most reliable part of my psyche, but fuck it. There is something mysterious about the curtains. Be careful. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you. You rip them apart for real. You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little cage-like trinkets, your shadow looming over it like an omen. I warned you, you are unleashing forces beyond your understanding. Am I? This is just a back room. Ghostly silhouettes of hair dryers? A vaguely androgynous portrait of a man? Merely looking at that unmanly haircut threatens your masculinity. No sane person would ever put their head in such a machine. Oh, that's a hairdryer. I was combining like two things. A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. What if you just break it down? Maybe I should break it down, but not before I strategize. That's right. Take in your surroundings. You need to have a solid ground and proper posture if you want to succeed. Check your posture. Steady breathing, solid core. You've got this. With one shoulder forward, you're ready to smash into the door like a battering ram. Check your surroundings. The room is dimly lit and littered with old barber shop rubbish, but the path to the door is clear. What about the door? It's made of a solid block of wood, but it has stood there for ages. Hinges are old and coated with a carmine layer of rust. It should be doable. 72% because I actually prepared. Nice. Enjoy, Summer. Oh. That's with success. You smash into the wood and see a small crack appear in the door frame. It's going to take one more try to break through to the other side, but you've done it. The lieutenant stares at you as you stand there, silent and brooding. You're not thinking of trying again, are you? Smash into the door again, wordless. Smash into the door and shout, fuck the system. Smash into the door and shout, freeze, dirtbags. Smash into the door and say, hands up now. Smash into the door and shout, fuck, it hurts. Oh, these are all too good. Oh, chat, help me. Why are these all so good? Oh. I feel like I have to go with fuck, it hurts. It's fucking gym equipment? But...
What is this place?
Looks like a gym to me. Yes, but no one's been here in ages. He draws a stripe on the dusty floor with his foot. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us. Don't forget to take it out of your bag before we move on. An eerie feeling rises in your chest. What if there's a reason why no one's been here for ages? Yes, because it's closed. Now let's move on, shall we? I was thinking more, what if there's a reason it's closed? But, you know, be a smarty pants. Which, I mean, it's fine. You are. Probably not going to need that anymore. Sand is dripping from a punch bag. Poster says, Citius Fortis. The rest is worn off. You're in exactly the wrong spot. Hey, this is the bowl, so I can give that back to the guys whose bowl I mistakenly ruined. Oh, I'm glad I managed to do it then. Worn out wall bars. They look unsafe. A barbell lies on the floor. The color has worn off its weight plates. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. Lift them. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard. Look, Kim, it's a trap. There are no collars. Oof. No, I'm not going to risk this. Not yet. Is this familiar because I'm a weightlifter? No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber, the squeaky sounds of sneakers, your bruised knee against the mat, and a whistle. Then the feeling is gone. Was I a boxer? Or something like that? It's just a memory. A memory from another life, when you were young and fit. So... I don't think there's much in here apart from the bowl. But I'm glad I got it. I'm also kind of glad that I pissed that lady off because she deserves it. Summer, as soon as I saw that thing on the floor, my brain immediately went, is that a ball? Is that what I need?
You broke down the back door. The wards, the door. It's all gone now. Dark psychic energy leeching onto my shop.
Sometimes it's necessary to resort to extreme measures. I suppose it's all over now. Her shoulders slump as if a heavy burden lies on them. I guess there's no escape. What are you talking about? It's just a door. Just a door? This place is cursed, detective. They don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Just look at the sheer amount of companies that have failed in this house. I hope you're happy now. Happy that you've ruined everything. Now that you've broken the door, the curse is coming to get me as well. She closes her eyes and starts mumbling something to her pendant. Curses aren't real, ma'am. Of course you would think that. You're nothing but a policeman. She shrugs, visibly dejected. Alright, you know what? I'm willing to let you investigate the doomed commercial area. We are set on the path. There's little else to do. But before we go on, tell me, did you encounter the malignant entity? Her eyes narrow as she whispers the name. Of course, the entity. I didn't see her, but I sensed her presence. I'm not going to be mean to her. Yes, the malignant entity that lives inside the chimney? It takes the shape of a woman, a witch probably. I've suspected that she knows more about the curse than she lets on ever since I first saw her. Chimneys aren't big enough for anyone to live there. Or the passage between heaven and hell. Fuck. No, this chimney is part of the building's central furnace, and it's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains. God knows what she's doing there. That just sounds like a person. Some unnatural magic, I assume. She shivers. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. And do return to me after you've talked to it. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse. A few more questions about the curse. How does the curse manifest itself? The curse is so much worse than anything you could imagine. It's a disease eating at the very foundation. Bye, Juice! Enjoy the rest of your day. Also, you remain an incredible cutie, as always. Her voice drops to a whisper. It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy. She stares at the curtains again. Didn't the curtain just move? Wait, that's it? I was looking for something more paranatural. But officer, there's nothing natural about entire companies declaring bankruptcy. I'm talking about cacodemons feeding off bad business practices and disappointing income statements. There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie, lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here. Sounds familiar. Strange, I feel unwanted too. What does it mean? Interesting. Truly so? Her eyes narrow as she tries to get a read on your energy. Perhaps the dark energies are leeching off you? You shouldn't stay in the store too long. It may be dangerous. Have you sought help from anyone? Yes, I've contacted numerous parapsychologists and even a pair of Seminese mediators. They provided me with the wards. She nods at the strange cage-like trinkets on the curtains. The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies further in the building. Even though now I fear it's not enough. Is your pendant part of the ward? Oh, this? She holds the pendant in her palm. Its ochre heart glistens under the light. No, it's a special Himean amulet, blessed by desert pygmy shamans with the spell of compulsion. It's to compel people to buy books. It did not work. There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed with a different inducement spell. For example, she nods, it's guaranteed to boost sales 15%. It's interesting. As much as I say that, I was drawn to the one essentially Conan book. Okay, I think that's all I need from her for today. And I also don't need my flashlight anymore. People say the commercial building on the plaza is cursed. No business will ever thrive there without going bankrupt. So I must look into that. Lives inside a chimney. Find a way in. Still, it's 9 p.m. and I think it's time to get my debriefing from Kim. But I will say, that was interesting and very surprising. Are the two old men still here? Where were they? Were they down here? No, it's late at night. They've moved on. The spirited chirps and clicks of swallows fill the air.
Hello again, officer. How are things?
Okay. Nothing more I can get from her, unfortunately. I'm just going to pause for 1 second and check if I've got something weird running in the background that's eating up all of my my resources. Because my computer is not running great. Or at least the game isn't running great. No, it doesn't really seem to be. This is also when the Union men come to eat, and it might be a good time to get some information from them. Oh, this is much busier than previously.
Hello again, sweetie.
I might need to talk to her later, but for now I don't want to say anything potentially rude. I like her too much, frankly. It's all about money, you know. You gotta spend money to make money. Money is what really matters. Well, they say money can't buy you happiness, but that just means you don't have enough money. Okay, so that's all that dude talks about. Sleeping dock worker. A man is sleeping at the table wearing mud-caked boots and roll-down overalls. The back of his shirt reads Wild Pines, encircled by a logo with a tree. On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine. 72% chance to wake him up. Let's pick up the pills. The man does not mind. You probably need them more than he does. Let's try waking him up. Oh my god, this is tutorial agent. So I was meant to do this right at the beginning, and this is the first time I was meant to learn about medicine. That's kind of hilarious. There's only one way. There's only one way to awake this bone idol from his slumber. Roar like a hurricane. Rip the building from the earth. Wake up, this is an order, I am the law. Or no words, just a primordial scream. The 30-something man slowly lifts his head and gives you a pensive look. Why the yelling, man? You're alive? You looked out for the long count there. Wait, what? I was just sleeping. He seems pissed off. What do you want, officer? Officer, even after a rude awakening, this dock worker respects the police. More than they usually do, at least. Tell me about Wild Pines. That's the name of my employer. I work in logistics. He doesn't sound too enthusiastic about this. That's wonderful. Logistics? No, it's a nightmare. He lets his head fall back on the table. Why are you sleeping here while the others are out striking? They got it. Measurehead's got it. He's guarding the gate. I'm just getting some sleep. Or was. The way he says Measurehead implies ultimate trust in the head reckoner's physical prowess. Well, yeah, when I tried to punch him, he basically broke... He didn't, but he tried to break my fist. Who's behind organizing the strike? We are the workers, the union. We know what we need, what's right for us. You mean there's no leader? Okay, I guess there's also Everard, and he's in charge of the union. He's smart, knows how to negotiate. He's got our back. What about the dead body in the yard? Yeah, what about it? You seem cool with it. Do you have many of those hanging from the trees here? You know, people die here every day. Someone's found in a ditch, another falls in a manhole, the third one gets eaten by stray dogs. He respites. If someone has decided to die on top of a tree, then how's it my concern? Someone has to look into it. Looks like I'm that someone. Tell me what you know. I can tell you this, trouble's ahead. You have a pretty solid feeling that the man's not just mouthing off. He's strong, but even he has reason to be cautious here. The trouble is already here. Or how else would you... I think it's more interesting to ask him what trouble. You heard what I said. Draw your own conclusions. That's all I know, and I prefer to keep it this way. The lieutenant gives you a little nod, then makes a note in his blue notebook. That was interesting. Yours? Point to the bottle and the spilt rum. Indeed. Help yourself to some. He blinks. Wait, no, it's empty. Sorry about that, pal. Alright, I'll let you sleep. Dock worker doesn't answer. His head is already back down on the table, in sweet sleep. Not a lot actually going on. Can I speak to Gart again? Is there anything new?
Can I help you?
No, unfortunately not. I want to check out the kitchen. A box? Yes, fucking stealing money from the kitchen. I love it. Still can't do anything with this door, which is very curious. Okay, Kim. Let's get debriefed. Is this not when we get debriefed? You seem to be following me. Excuse me? Nothing, just an observation. You have a... He's looking for the right words. A distinctive way of walking. If I were to walk in front of you, we would surely collide. Let it go. Okay, so... Am I not supposed to have... end of day debrief with Kim? Join him on the Whirling in Rags balcony after 10. I thought it was after 9. I don't think that has ever happened to me in game. I assume you mean for stealing shit. I have never yet stolen anything while someone's watching. But no, I've never done it after someone's watching. So, while someone's watching. So, I'm pretty sure they would call me out on it, but they haven't had the chance yet. You need to find 20 Real to pay for your room at the Whirling, or it will be locked after 9 p.m. As long as you don't have a free place to stay, you have to do this every single night. Hey! Guess who doesn't have a free place to stay and did not manage to come up with 20 Real? Not by a long shot. So, I still gotta figure some stuff out. Lieutenant gives you a quick glance. He doesn't like where this is going. I'm still curious about the lady in there. And this is my room, which is now locked. I don't want to say goodnight. I don't want the day to be over or anything. This is the door to the room you redecorated.
Just a moment. You had some questions earlier, I believe. And besides, we should discuss our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be after 10. It's just that's like the end of the day kind of thing. I'm surprised that I can still access my room at all. Maybe I'd like paid up front for this day at least. The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum, then...
Where shall we begin? We should talk about the investigation, first and foremost. But I also remember you wanting to discuss the RCM?
I didn't know you smoked, Kim. I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual. Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette. How did you get so cool, Kim? The light of his cigarette illuminates a fleeting smile. You mean this? And he flicks the ash. This isn't cool, and it's an unnecessary trial of will. And unhealthy. Keeping the habit within the parameters he's given himself takes quite a lot of focus. It would be easier to simply quit. Right then, the debrief. Yes, he pulls on the cigarette. It's been a long and eventful day. How do you think today went? Well, we inspected the victim's body, so that's good. It was not easily approachable in that state, but we did it. Our inspection could have been more thorough, as it always can, but we have some leads we can follow up on. The body is still hanging from that tree, which is unfortunate. There's still much to do at the crime scene. He's not particularly satisfied with your progress, but he doesn't want you to feel completely discouraged. Probably out of fear that you'll just give up and keep drinking. Don't worry, I'll be in much better shape tomorrow. All part of the plan. Yeah. I think trying to reassure him as well. I look forward to that. As for the interviews, we weren't able to find the union leader, Everard Clare, much less interview him. So that's on the to-do list for tomorrow. I actually like this, just in terms of like giving the player an idea of where to go. We interviewed Joyce Messier, the Wild Pines rep, and learned a lot. None of it very good news for us, or Martinez, but he gives you a quick nod of acknowledgement and approval. Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice? Oh my god, this is the first game I've ever played that calls you out for running everywhere. I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast, son. Just you wait till we get up tomorrow. It's amazing. This is the first game I've ever played that mentions that. I don't know why I do the things I do, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. He nods thoughtfully, tapping his fingers on his cigarette. It's impressive, especially for a man your age, and in those heels. How dare you? He looks at your snakeskin shoes and smiles suddenly. Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange. So what are our powers exactly, the RCM? They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Revocol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offences in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule. 1,000, why not more? The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We're not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure of Revocol. That makes sense, actually. Wouldn't that be an easy power to abuse? Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. He frowns. It undermines trust in the RCM. We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station call slip. It prevents confusion and overcrowding. How can you be sure the arrestee will show up? You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up. When power calls you, you come. But power itself is a fragile trick of perception. I see, and if someone resists, we are permitted to use whatever force we deem necessary. Even lethal. Have you ever killed anyone, Ken? Yes, he pauses. The last time was 4 years ago. He says it matter-of-factly and moves on. Have I killed anyone? That's an improbability, perhaps even impossibility. Of course you've killed people, it's somewhere down there, melting in all the drink. I don't know if I really want to know. Precinct 41 is known for a higher than average rate of police violence. Oh. He's not judging you. He's respectfully acknowledging the difficulty of working in your precinct. What happens to the people we convict? We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Koran and La Delta. The prosecution works without testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them. He taps on his coat pocket where he keeps his notes. And who makes the rules? The coalition government and the moral intern, more broadly. The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less. His gaze is absently fixed on a window below that... Wait, his gaze is absently fixed on a window below that just went dark. Yeah, that did a weird thing in my brain. Or perhaps it's better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Revocol or the coalition government founded the RCM. Let's say it was the citizens. Be sentimental if you like. Either way, the moral intern leases us the right to keep the peace in the city, and they will take it away if we misuse it. What is the moral intern? The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. He pulls on his cigarette. You know who they are. They run this place after the revolution failed. If I didn't know them, how would you describe them? They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the rail belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations in the world. What do they believe in? What do they believe in? They're DeLoreans. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Dei 4 centuries ago. Others say they're technocrats. What's their symbol? Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that. Something ominous. Who is Dolores Day? A historic figure? The author of the modern age? He thinks. You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me. For you, she is something painful, though it's hard to say why. What do you think of them? The moral intern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change. And he looks at the city below. It doesn't look like that's about to happen. It's more than that. There's some kind of affection in him. You like the moral intern? Yes, I did when I was younger. In my 20s, I considered myself a moralist. A blue forget-me-not, a piece of the sky, he quotes. They're not all that bad. But the years have changed that. I don't know what I believe in now. He thinks, then changes his mind. No, I believe in the RCM. That's enough for me. I have an opinion on the moral intern. Do you? The lieutenant arches his brow, then pulls on his cigarette. It's a slim white thing in his fingers. Things are bad out there. We need them here, giving us the rights to police Revocol. They've done an awful job here. That's pretty accurate. We are stooges of the world's biggest bourgeois organization, protecting bourgeois rights. I love the hints of, like, my character going full communist. But yeah, they've done an awful job here. We are in what is called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes. Vigilantes sounds bad. He nods. Sadly, it is what we already are to the people of Martinez. Most of them, at least, especially the Union. Vigilantes. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging. He looks at the roundabout. The lights of the orphan district are reflected in his glasses. The red and golden orbs of the motorway sliding like pearls on a string from east to west as Revocol commutes back to the suburbs. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Monday is over. Say nothing and look into the night. The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on Kim's lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. This soldier is the highlight of the day for me, he thinks. This little stick right here. Finally, he pulls on the cigarette and says, they really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid Kuno. It's different inland, in Jamrock and the Gree. Why are they like this? It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. Like I told you, this place is an orphan, fallen between the cracks. And in Jamrock and the GRHI? He looks at the dark silhouette of the equestrian monument cutting into the night sky and says, we run the city. West of the river is RCM land. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are... He shakes his head. But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works. Our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate. I hope our investigation will help improve the situation here. Me too, he says quietly. But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetimes. Thank you for this. Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go. Puts out the stub of his cigarette and looks to the door. Okay, so I finished that one. And now that I actually have a map, I can find out where to do these various things. which is super useful. It's interesting. I haven't seen the church yet. Oh, because I can't cross the canal. So only this like top right area is what I've even been able to explore so far. There's still this whole area here, which I'll only be able to begin exploring on Wednesday. So some of these are redoable. These are found white checks. Those on white are available to try now. Okay, so all of these are retryable, but these ones can be tried immediately, as opposed to the grayed out ones, which cannot be tried now because it's too late, presumably. Well, that's interesting. Knick-knack stand, interfacing. Is that to steal something? I don't want to steal something. Not quite yet. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all that's left to do for this day. But tomorrow, hopefully there will be more things to do. I mean, I could go and try to punch the racist again, but I don't think that'll work out as well as I might hope. Okay, so it looks like I still have a room for the evening, which is good. I thought I didn't have this now, but it looks like I do, so that's good news. Empty cassette case. How did I not see that when I was here before? I feel like I must have, which makes me wonder if that's new. The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in. 72% chance to assess the damage. Nice. The shards face outward. Whatever broke this window came from inside. Did I break it with my own hands? A fine web of scarring covers the back of your right hand, but none of it is recent. What did this then? Or likely a projectile in a held object. There are no fragments on the floor from pulling a tool back after impact. Assess the size of the impact. It's too large for a bullet, yet too small for a piece of furniture. You're looking for something heavy and larger than your fist. The shoe you found out on the balcony fits the hole almost as well as your foot. It would have also been heavy enough if thrown with force. Okay, so I threw my shoe out the window. That's always good to know. Congratulations. You smashed the window with your own shoe. I'm sure I had a good reason. Oh, I'm pretty sure I didn't. I feel like I was drunk and crazy. What a stupid thing to do. Pretty much. But hey, at least you found your shoe. Not that it will keep you warm at night. Brr. Okay, it's time to do it. It's time to look in the mirror. I didn't do it all day, but I think I have to at this point. A mirror hangs on the wall, covered in steam. You cannot see yourself, just the outlines of a man. You have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor. Wipe the mirror. As you slowly reach your hand towards the surface of the mirror. Abort! You clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you will see there, and you will never unbecome it. I don't care. That's not too bad. Like, I'm not the handsomest guy in the world, but it's better than having the messed up silhouette here. You have no idea who this thing is, do you? Dear Lord, help me, what is this? This is the face of a late-stage alcoholic. Too late. You clearly have rigor mortis on your face. Or wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression with that face? Why? I have no idea why it's there. It just is. I think you're meant to do this way earlier in the game, and I chickened out. So I haven't known what I've looked like properly this whole time. So this is kind of funny to do this late. Please stop. It's horrible. You're scaring yourself. Try to stop or keep making the face. Let's try to stop. Oh my god, you can't stop. It's like it's not even voluntary anymore. You have worn that grin onto your face and now it won't come off. What does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey? I think it's supposed to look suggestive. I'm afraid it's meant for the ladies. I'm insinuating that I'm vaguely sympathetic. I think I'm sort of pulling it off too, in a sad has-been kind of way. There's some charm to it. There might have been 10 years ago. It's a little more than a cadaverous spasm now. So, oof. I have an 8% chance of using my, basically, encyclopedia is just knowledge. It does match Robocop. Attempt to stop the expression from happening. Use your chain cutters to fix the faucet. Stop steam from fogging up the mirror. Well, I'll try that once I've got my chain cutters. Let the mirror be for now. That's still a pretty low chance. I've got my gloves and everything. The chain cutters slip out of your hands as you attempt to twist the faucet into place. Well, you know one thing for sure. You've probably never been a plumber. So yeah, I would have to improve my interfacing to reattempt that. I don't think there's anything more I need to do with that. And I think that's... This door is... I'm curious about that door. I don't need the fan on. It's very cold. The lights are on. Yeah, but I'm going to sleep. On that. The bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. The sheets look awful. Crawl in. And that is the end of the first day of Disco Elysium, it seems. The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes. Oh, please don't crash or something weird. And then sleep doesn't come. Oh no. Oh, this is way too real. Why? Maybe it's the bed's fault? Check the pillow. Its synthetic filling has separated into hard lumps. The pillowcase smells oddly. Check the blanket. It barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here, intimate and warm, breathing. Under your thrumming eyelids, you see a dizzying array of colors. You won't get off this carousel quite so easily. Roll over to the other side. It's a little better. Colors, senses, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it? Who killed him? Something to do with... What was it that the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between the slowing brainwaves. No more thoughts. Fall asleep now. Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you. Until your eyelids twitch in your sleep and images start forming. Dream things? What? Excuse me? There's... What is this? I can explore aspects of my dreams? And that... Oh, that's me underneath a disco ball.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
Do you remember the scent of your childhood? What is this?
What it says on the can, Harry. Answer the question.
I remember nothing.
Do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
Who?
Do you remember the warmth of her thighs between her legs and in her mouth?
I suspect I was left. I don't think I left.
That's right, funky baby. And you just stood there. One hand on the bottle and the other on your dick. Watching her go. Let it all be dragged away from you.
Oh?
Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
You can get it all back.
No, it's gone. 3 times gone and never coming back.
This is...
You failed. You failed me.
This is so weird and interesting.
You failed Elysium.
Okay. So that is the first time that word has been mentioned in this game. And I assumed the title was weirdly symbolic, but the fact that they're actually mentioning it.
Everything. The Pale and the Isolas on the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history.
Okay.
You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people, and you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up.
I don't think I failed everybody. I've talked to you before.
No, Harry. You were just talking to yourself. That's all you ever do. Even in your dreams. And the act is wearing thin. The spots on the disco ball fade around you. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time. Sweating up the bed. Stinky boy.
Fucking... Oh, that was just so... The timing on that stinky boy.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours, bumping into things and acting like a clown. Who are you kidding?
I'm trying to solve this case.
You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet, grinding in your head.
Just... The timing on that stinky boy was just so absurd.
Something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad. This dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
God, there's another type?
Oh yes, party boy. And it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry.
But...
Time to go to work in the shit factory.
So that was an order of magnitude weirder than anything we've encountered thus far. Good going, buddy. What the hell was that? I had the most beautiful dream, uplifting and rejuvenating. I'm just gonna... Yeah. Oh, just a dream. You have ones like that all the time. You feel even worse this morning than you did last night. What the hell is going on with me? You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think it? To even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think. Why is this happening? It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more. Don't do that. Stay strong. The hangover will wear off. You don't need to keep doing this to yourself. Yeah, I do not want to go the heavy drug route. What is speed? Speed is a potent central nervous system stimulant. It keeps you propped up all day. It kept you propped up all day yesterday, despite your debilitating hangover. How else do you think you even got up from this floor? You got up from this floor because of a holy vow you made 16 years ago, with me, to wake up exactly 7:30 every morning until the day you die. Don't be silly. There was no vow. You were high on speed. That was the only reason you got up. You can't detect without it. It's that simple. No, I can take this. I'm not going to go looking for speed. Are you sure? Ready to live as this pathetic shell of yourself for days? Basically a week? Let's be honest, 2 weeks, maybe 3. You won't make it. Half the town will be dead by then. You'll be fired. That's a lie. I can do this without the speed. Half the town won't be dead. Suit yourself, slow, sad shell man. See how you do without your spark. I am curious, how much experience do I have? Hey, 70! I'm not too far from getting another point. But heck, so few points still. I don't think there's anything more to do here. I wonder if Ken is up yet. I thought that was Kim's room. Okay, so let's see. We've got a few things to do today. I'm specifically looking to interview Everard, who is the union leader. Oh, okay, that area was closed off yesterday. But now there are plenty of people there, and I can speak to them. Good morning.
Morning.
He gives you a quick nod. Looks like we can get to work at once. The union muscle turned up. He points to the mess hall doors. They look rowdy. We should talk to them. Why do we need to talk to them? Everything points to the dock workers union. The belt used for hanging him, the circumstances in Martinez, my preliminary information, which may of course all be wrong, but we still need to talk to them and it won't be easy. What do you mean rowdy? I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. They prefer to be policed by the union. These men here. Men who drink beer for breakfast? There's talk of an armed wing of the union called the Hardy Boys, who are responsible for said policing. I think it's them. These the men Gart told you about yesterday? I completely forgot. He looks at his notes. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the looks of it. Loud and nasty, just like the manager said. Yes, I did a smart thing and got a skill point. There's so many of them. Maybe we should call in reinforcements? That would just escalate tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth a conflict between the RCM and the Debardiers Union. In fact, even the death of 2 detectives might not warrant an all-out war. So let's keep a cool head, okay? Okay, that does... He's not exaggerating about that mortal danger. Just calmly factoring it in. Your fists clench and your pulse rises uncomfortably. Let's roll. Oh, one more thing before we do. He glances at the booth again. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business. Good, a power move. Purposefully concentrating on something else first. Yeah, streetwise. Zoom right past. Do it on your own terms. But aren't you curious to know what they have to say about the murder? They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine by me. That's curious. I actually wanted to check. Because I've got this thing where I can basically become a communist, but in order to do that, I'll need to add another one of these slots. So is it better to add a slot or to upgrade one of my skills? That's what I'm curious about. Because I can potentially... that's the wrong one. I can potentially... Where is... Physical instrument formidable. I can... If I upgrade physical instrument some more and maybe do a few things to make him feel less good about himself, I can maybe punch out Measurehead today. Which, since he's a fucking racist bastard, I'm happy to do. So, I think I'm going to level up physical instrument a little further. Can you tell me anything new this morning? About my bill for tonight. I don't have the money yet. He rolls his eyes. And why are you wasting my time and yours? Okay, buddy. Oh, sorry, lady. Tomatoes are so thinly sliced you can see through them. So nothing useful, but still. You know what's behind that door? He looks up at you, then looks away quickly, shrugging and muttering to himself. Hi, Luca. Shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind that door. There's nothing else in here that's useful. Anything new you have to say this morning? Let me handle this, the woman says to the crowd in the mess hall before turning to you.
You seem a little different today. Less hospitable.
You are far from home, Lieutenant. This is no district known for its love of self-proclaimed militiamen.
Of course, Luca. I mean no trouble. I'm here to do my job, that's all. Not a muscle moves on her face, but her eyes trace yours, stern and perceptive.
Looking for Titus Hardy, who you think has information on the murder the RCM is investigating. You want to interview him?
She points to the man standing in the middle of the room.
That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong-arming, nothing official. The district of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
Interesting. Does not recognize my authority to make
It
arrests.
doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest if we have to.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her. What if I want to talk to you, not Titus? What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. In Martinez, you are no one. I saw what you were thinking. You want to say, what are you going to do to me? Don't. Just because it's in your head doesn't mean you have to say it. What's your role in all this? Obviously, I'm a lawyer, a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union. She crosses her arms. I would urge you to consider what you say to my clients. I should talk to Titus then. But I'm not going to. I am going to listen to the advice of some members of my psyche and just walk right on by. Because sometimes when you do that, it gives you weird bonuses. Like, Some parts of my psyche said it's a power move to just fucking ignore them. Ooh. Here's a bin that I didn't see. And there's some magnesium in the bin. Which is... What? And let's go get money. Always worth getting money from the bottles I picked up. Okay. So, I am going to try. The thing you love most about this is you don't know if you want the Hobocop to do well or poorly. Well, yeah, that's an interesting part of it. He's the main character, and, like, depending on how you play him, he can be good, or at least want to do good. But at the same time, he's not currently good. Like, he's not a good person. And yeah, as you said, he's an ass. And I think that makes for a very interesting central character. A lot of characters in a lot of games are too good, and frankly, it's kind of boring. Curious, I want to speak to this dude again.
I guess getting past the man ain't that simple after all. So, what now?
Yeah, as you said, a lot of things are just, oh, his flaw is he likes his pets. And that's not a flaw. That's not a character. This dude is like a late-stage alcoholic who kind of hates people, and depending on how you play him, can maybe be like weirdly misogynistic and racist. That's a compelling central character, especially if he still does solve the crime. Like, all characters should have flaws, and that's rad. Measurehead thing didn't go well for me. Can you help me with that somehow? Sorry, busy surveying the situation. He takes a swig from his flask. I'm sure you'll figure something out. You guys have all sorts of gadgets these days. I'm not gonna fucking shoot him. Wiretapping, telescopic batons, futuristic circuit bending to infiltrate harbor machinery. Maybe you could even knock that Kvelsun crane over using some remote controls. He stops to think. Or calling a tactical air support. You guys have air support, right? I'm pretty sure we don't. At least not all of those things. I get it. Hush hush about the secret technology. He pats the side of his nose with his index finger. Alright, I may have some advice for you on how to deal with Jean-Luc there. Out of solidarity to the RCM. It's low on technology, however. Yes? First, don't fight him. Obviously. Second, get him to share his theory by being subordinate. Admit your lack of expertise. Basically grovel. That's how I'd do it. He tips his brain and concludes. You're welcome. Maybe that would work? We'll have to see. I'm willing to beg for money. I'm Hobocop. Game isn't trying to push you to change him to become a paragon either. Well, yeah, as you say, Luca, that's what's interesting. I'm trying to act as a sympathetic, but not necessarily good character, but there's no right or wrong way to play. You just play it the way you want to, and that can make, like, you can play it to feel good, or you can play it to have a central character you dislike. Like, it's all solid. And as you said, it doesn't try to excuse it. If you want to play as someone who is unrepentant, who hates Kim, who is all these things, whatever. Play that way, and you can still solve all the puzzles. You may have to solve them differently. That's fine. Sure thing, my friend. I can help you out. He flips a coin towards you. Try to catch the coin. 42 even. Heck. The coin narrowly slips by your outstretched fingers and falls to the ground. Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to throw it like that. It's a thing we harbor folks do, passing around cargo and such. He rubs the back of his head. Was not meant as provocation or ridicule. Lieutenant Kitsuragi picks up the coin and hands it to you. Appreciated. Right, always glad to help out the RCM. We're in the same branch, you and I. The humans, I mean, not slithering scabs. I like unions in general, but these guys are not great in several ways. Still can't open that door. Anything else here I can interact with? Not really. Okay. Oh, good. That is a good band name. Okay. Increase my physique by 1, which will help me punch him. Well, hello. Someone seems to have found himself a bottle of alcohol. Here's where the magic happens. Light reflects off the green glass of the Commodore Red. The gods have been generous. Better pop it open before they change their minds. Wow. The gods of mass production have made this alcohol container laughably easy to open. A child could have done it. Open the bottle. There's a satisfying pop as the cork jumps out, and the hair on your back rises like an army at attention. You've been here before. Welcome back, detective. You're home now. You see a flash of teeth, a young woman smiling at you near some railway overpass in your ruined past. She's gorgeous and she's yours. What will be the repercussions if I take that sip? Nothing. Some mental stuff. Nothing to worry about. Physically, you'll be strong as an ox. Which is what I need if I'm going to punch this dude. A golden sun melts down your throat. Its rays... Oh, heck! Chen! The clown is raiding us! Chen, how are you? Well, we're about to attempt to punch a racist, so... So yeah, we're gonna try to figure this out. So... Gwen, thank you for the bed, wed, behead, for bed, wedding, and beheading. And just to shake things up, I am going to have sex with the wedding, marry the bed, because who wouldn't, and I am going to kill the beheading, because why not? Okay. Secret task complete. I got experience for that. This is good before rolling a white check, but damages your morale. Yui, thank you so much for the 10 bits. And Chen, thank you for the gifted sub to Yui. Okay. I don't know how well this is going to go, but we can see. There are apparently things I can say to him to make this easier.
Ray's descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
I really hate this guy. So, content warning, this guy's a racial supremacist. The countries are invented, but the way he talks is still very uncomfortable. I just want to let everybody know. The things he's going to say, I'm going to use to learn how to make it easier to punch him. Simple as that. So I've got a 58% chance of beating him. Know anything about this mug? I got a racist mug. He does not so much as glance at the object. Put this into the trash lately? Stop showing me your pathetic cup. I have no interest in it. Does he strike you as the kind of man who puts mugs into trash? I mean, okay, fair. So, I need, in order to improve my chance of punching him successfully, I need to go over the race classification stuff again. As I said, it sucks. not save scummed, but this is what's called a white check, which means you can attempt it as many times as you like. White checks generally you can do multiple times. So he talks about how like certain race groups are just failed chimeric experiments and tragic maladaptations. Lesser races. Oh yeah, and Seminese are essentially like at least from his perspective, like the best kind of white people, and so a grotesque mixture of Mesk women and Seminese man, and it's like, oh my god, this is horrible to read. But apparently you can learn something from this, which is very useful. So here's the thing, Summer. I started this one earlier, got super uncomfortable, tried to punch him, failed, and now I'm back for round 2. I've upgraded my physical instrument score. I've had some booze. I'm gonna find what I need to screw him up. Certain races are very servile, especially when they meet the rich man. This is real terrible. Yes, we're gonna punch him. I need to find out something about the Type A. I'm skipping a lot of this because I legit don't want to read it. The Seminese are the indigenous people of the... Insulindia is basically Iceland. So the Seminese are like... They're basically your blonde, blue-haired white people, which is just... Wow! And they're the superior ones, right? I'm gonna skip reading a lot of this. Because I read it before, and it is very uncomfortable. But I don't see... Oh yeah, this. The unheroic races. You know, the mud-colored people. You know... Yeah, Yui. It is... The problem is, it's so well written that it's hard to read. Revolution sounds like it was actually necessary. As I said, I'm skipping a lot of this. So, none of that gave me the boost I was looking for. Maybe I need to do this. You serve the Union, don't you? Aren't they white? Do not be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that. Must be some friction there. He's keeping it well hidden. You still serve them. How does that factor into your life? Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront polycultural capital, something your race naivistic communists never did. Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Communism is pretty cool. My jam is a mysterious fourth thing. Jam, individualism. You have gotten these ideas from degenerate youth culture. Oh, cool, he's ageist too. You have picked them up from rock and roll songs. I've gotten it from disco, actually. Offshoots of the Seminese people invented disco while having sex under the influence of cocaine. I mean, that's almost certainly true. Well, no, that's the thing. Here's the thing, Chan. I think this character is interesting. I'm not going to comment, like, I'm not sure why they added him in, given that it's very uncomfortable to play. I think what they wanted to do is represent, like, the many kinds of people in the world. I think he does fit into the narrative because he helps with the world building. If I were making this game, I would not have done it. Let me say that much. The South Island race, haplogroup A4A. We are the rightful masters of the archipelago. Whatever. So he wasn't actually raised there. He was, well, yeah, that's the thing. A lot of people are horrible. That's why I wouldn't have put it in this game if I'd developed it. It was an interesting choice, and it's part of what makes the game feel so real. Because these people exist. It's, yeah. So you did not come from the islands. So you're not really Seminese. You're just from Revachol. Yeah, there we go. He's not quite as pure as he claims to be. But yeah, as I said, I wouldn't have added it because I can see how it's not great. Why are you not with the Hardy Boys? I'm not the first line of defense, I'm the last. The hardy manlets are on the pay of the company. I answer to the union alone, and I do this out of race heroism. That sure is a phrase. I must luxuriate in the company of my women. Kim, what do you think about this? I think this racist is better than the last, but the next racist will be really good. Ooh, nicely put, Kim. How do you know there'll be a next racist? There always is. Okay, 58% chance. Chat, give me your spirit bomb energy. I really fucking need it because this dude needs to go down. I failed badly last time. Oh? Oh! Just like that, instinct took over. A solid strike straight into his throat, into the cartilage. You could swear you felt the soft palate break. That felt good. Now the man is reeling, gasping for air. Time stands still around you. In the distance, the sounds of the harbor are falling silent. All you hear is a small gurgling sound as a trickle of blood appears on the man's lip. He's open. Rip into him. Right hook. Escalate. Escalate it. Get intimate with him. Bring the hurt closer. rip into him with the right hook, or back up and perform a 360-degree flying spin kick. So I will say one thing. I looked up a little bit about this character, and I know one of these is the right one to do. I think it's the flying kick, like the spinning kick, but I need to make sure because I need to get this right because fuck him. Okay, yes, I'm right. It's the coolest thing. Back up and perform a 360-degree flying spin kick. Tatsumaki Senpukyaku! I cannot say that properly, but... Fuck yes! Fuck yes! Take that, bitch. Where's your superiority now? Oh, fucking... I feel like I just unlocked the Sasui no Hado. The man lands with a dull thump like a broken down puppet of muscles and sinew. For a moment he still tries to keep his head up, dazed eyes looking at you with unimaginable surprise. To your left is the button. Disco Inferno! Press the button. Welcome to Revocol. No! Fuck that! I did want to do this. He's a fucker. As you slam your fist on the button, the man collapses entirely, his head rolling to the side. Measurehead's babe. Looks like you're the new Measurehead now. I can't believe that's an achievement. Goodest of the good cops. Apparently Kim super trusts me now, because I fucking punched a racist. This is great. No one is the new Measurehead. Let's go, before he gets up. The lieutenant makes haste toward the door. Oh, that was amazing! Ooh, there's a box. Wait, I can at least interact with his corpse. So... Fuck yeah! Can I rub him? Can I kick him? The man is still knocked out. He breathes slowly and steadily. It'll take a few moments for him to recover. Okay, cool. I can't interact with him, which is probably for the best. Okay, so now this door is interactable. But I'll be back here, because I left some people back at the hotel who I want to talk to now. Okay. Keyboard controls, not always great in this game. Just in case anyone's wondering why I'm, like, unable to get places. There we go, downstairs. Oh, Stitch, that's perfect. So, here's the thing. I don't need to spit on him. I'm impure according to his standards. And I fucking punched him in the throat. And then fucking spinning, flying kicked him. Dude's done. Every thought he had of superiority is finished. Also, I forgot to do this. So, sorry about that. Did you finish Alien, Chen? Or is it still going? Also, Chen has become his mother? There's a cup on the floor. It's a bowl. There's spit in it, reeking of tobacco. Oh, it's a spittoon.
This is where you say your bit.
A broad-shouldered man points at you with a beer can.
Detective?
Lieutenant acknowledges you with a sharp note. He's leaving it to you. We need talk about the man hanged out back.
Oh, this is about him? A real looker, that one.
Interesting. Interesting, because he didn't think that that's what we were going to talk about. Whereas I can't think of anything more important to talk about. Ah.
You're sure taking your time, waiting for him to get all ripe and pretty for you, huh?
Oh, hi, Shanky. I might need to speak to you as well.
Pretty boy by now. Real hot stuff. Letting out that pretty boy smell. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Oh.
Easy, boys. These janitors have a hell of a job cut out for them. I mean, I wouldn't go in there for $1 million.
I don't like you, dickhead.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
I liked you yesterday. Questions to hell with it. With that. Get right up in the big dick's face. Physical confrontation. I just punched out Measurehead. I should be okay. Bye, Chen. Thank you so much for the raid. And yeah, have a great one. Take an aggressive step closer. The room is silent. The leader does not flinch. Get further in there. Escalate. Tilt your head from side to side. The fuck is this? He gets up in your face. You want to fuck with me? Shift your center of balance from one leg to the other. His eyes narrow. His right hand starts tapping a quick little rhythm on his thigh. Tap, tap, tap. Yes, side. This guy's tough. Get the eye twitch going. You need to look scary. Engage eye twitch. What do you think you're doing, you hear? But his mouth isn't moving. It's tension in his shoulder speaking. What are you doing? Oh no, what are you doing? They can do this all night long, his clenched fists say, their knuckles turning white. I'm young. You're 50,000 years old. Do not explain or defend yourself. Attack. Yeah, in that time I've killed more than once. I can feel it in me. With all the abuse I've taken, I'm still walking, talking, and ready to get into this fight. I like that one. No, you're not. You're frail and your nerves are frayed. Old sadness weighs you down. He refuses to budge. You failed here. A weakness is a weakness, not a strength. Time to speak now, with words. The man hanged in the backyard. Did you do it? The pretty boy? He takes a sip from his can. You guys really love talking about that pretty boy. Funny, the lieutenant says without a smile, but my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you. Why is there a container belt around the dead man's neck? Container belt? Like we use in the harbor? Yes, why? Because we took it, he says, from the harbor where we work. Then we went out back and used it to hang him. Oh? As he speaks, his fists contract, going through the pulling motion again, savoring it. We did this, he looks you dead in the eye. Together. All of us. Until he was dead. That's why there's a container belt around his neck. So you confess to murder? Goddamn right, Oh, you can't take that back. No, the woman interjects. These 7 honest men have equally come forth. They told you what happened, so that you don't waste any more of your time. Yeah, that's still a confession. Well, there's still a lot of mystery going on. That may be one mystery solved. Who called the shots that night? Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardy Boy without arresting all Hardy Boys. I mean, I'm fine with that. A shadow of a smirk passes her lips as she tilts her head. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all? I can speak to her. I don't have to. One of them is more complicit than the others, or address him. But seriously, who calls the shots around here? Yeah, She's interfering, and I don't like it. Who do you fucking think does? He sounds more amused than angry. Pointed fat Angus. The biggest animal dominates the herd. I'm guessing it's the big one. I mean, that's an option. But I think the thing is, this dude is kind of oozing a certain kind of unpleasant masculine energy. And I feel like suggesting that the woman is in charge is going to goad him into saying something. I thought she did. It wasn't a question, dickwad. How fucking stupid are you? I'm also surprised. Stitch, you're not... What? Wait, Stitch, I thought you were younger than me. I'm so confused. I'm so confused, Stitch. I legit thought you were... I don't know if Stitch is just doing a thing, or if Stitch is actually older than me. I'm super confused. It's a possibility, Cahill. Also, welcome. Sassel is worse than he falls silent. Titus runs the Hardy Boys, genius. That's why we're called the Hardy Boys. Ain't that right, fellas? I know you have, Cahill, but you've been quiet. Welcome to the land of the living. Fuck, I don't know what Stitch. Stitch, you are ancient in terms of how much I love you. Titus grins. I think you got your answer, Mr. Law. Yes, there are some administrative differences. She gives Titus a stern look. But on that night, they all acted as one man. I mean, that's fair, Cahill. When did this hanging incident occur? You don't have to keep answering his questions. The fixer turns to remind Titus. I know, Lizzie, relax. He takes a sip. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week. How long had you known the victim? I do not have a lurk command, but enjoy your lurk, Yui. Knowing him? We don't associate with scum like that, asshole. I've heard Denny's is real bad, but I don't actually know. I've never been to Denny's. Heck! Cahill, thank you for gifting a sub to Sar. That's incredibly kind. Also, how dare. Yeah, who do you think we are? I'm okay with Subway. Is that a fucking sub joke you just made? Did Cahill make a shitty Subway joke in order to gift a sub? Cahill. Cahill, I will do a murder. I'm okay with Subway. It's not amazing, but I've always found their food fine. Quiet. Titus gives Glenn a stern look. Yeah, I have to rile up the others because they're telling me much more. Titus gives Glenn a stern look. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy? By the Pines cow, you mean Joyce Messier, the representative for Wild Pines? The lieutenant pretends to check his notes. The same company you're striking against. Okay, I'm certain there are some subways that are shitty. But the subway I used to go to pretty regularly was fine. No, he stresses, I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know what? He rubs his chin, pretending to mull it over. Why didn't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough. Bruh, I asked her plenty. That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. She turns to you. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions. How How did you kill him? We hanged him up by his neck until he got real still. Wasn't that obvious, Copper? Didn't they teach you anything in the cop school, idiot? I mean, if it makes you feel better, Cahill, I know very little as well. This game is very confusing, but I love it. You're pretty sure you've had at least 2 years of cop school and many of active service. Certainly enough to not put up with this backsass. Deliver a knockdown observation. We need more. Did you muffle him? We haven't heard any reports of screams. Titus, you don't have to clarify anything. We overpowered him, dragged his unconscious body to the tree, put a noose around his neck, and hanged him till he was dead and steady. Except it's not future. This takes place in sort of an alternate 1960s, I think, roughly, or 50s. Then we left him for seagulls, maggots. The small man points at you, and fucks. Oof. Low chance to get this right. Yeah, he was a trained killer. How did you manage to overpower him? With numbers, asshole. How do you think? He looks at the woman. You're right, Lizzie. I've done enough explaining here. No, he hasn't. Not yet. You know what? It's a 28% shot. But I'm going to take this. Because things aren't quite right here. Ugh. Actually, they're admirably, surprisingly composed. The entire room, given how many questions you've lobbed their way. All of them? Maybe one of them is fidgeting, cracking under pressure. Well, this one. But he's always fidgeting, so don't get your hopes up. Where did this overpowering happen? Right fucking here. He looks around. The fucker pranced in here like he owns the place, got what was coming to him. Yeah, me neither, Luca. Titus lets the others clear out the details, so he doesn't get his hands muddy with explaining too much. Right, I have other questions about the lynching. Like what, Copper? Why did you kill him? Why? He hisses through his teeth. Because he was worthless mercenary scum, and he stepped out of line in my town. So he was a mercenary? That's it? And he stepped out of line, he repeats, jaw clamped like a vice. What kind of mercenary? The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Cohoy and Seminese written all over him. Ex-RNG Special Force. A live grenade, the man spreads his arms. Right here in our bar. This one has a special gripe with him coming here. Interesting. I wonder if I can get this guy later. I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara. Hold on, how do you even know he was in Special Forces? Because one night he walked straight up to the mic and said, I'm RNG's goddamn Special Forces and I'm gonna fuck you all. Oh. Okay. Really? Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some RNG's Paratrooper song, and said he's gonna fuck everyone. I mean, that could just as easily be me, to be honest. We couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did, right there. He points at the stage, like some kind of animal. Right, but what did he actually do wrong? Wrong, he roars. He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers. Oh, threatened to kill some as a warning. Oh? So. Certainly not an innocent. I love it too, Far. It's fascinating and fantastic so far. I mean, you're not wrong, Luca. Kim is just like a bright shining star in a sky of darkness. There's a slight unease in him suddenly. He regrets mentioning the rape. To kill us all if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. He cracks his knuckles. And that was before he started coming here. Well, that's the thing. You're right, Far. It is fascinating. The game never lets up with how interesting it is. Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night, drinking, grabbing girls. Grabbed one of ours mid karaoke, right there on the stage. He grabbed someone? The lieutenant is trying to make sense of this flood of information. Well, that's interesting. Welcome, Malu, and good to know that it's on sale. It is, Far. I only started playing it a couple of streams ago. I know almost nothing about it, except that I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Yeah, this girl on the mic, a beautiful young girl, gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming. Show me your cunt. Why don't you show me your cunt? Then he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle, doesn't even fall down. He shakes his head in disbelief. Was this the same girl who was sexually assaulted, raped, you said? Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. They got the girl out before anything else could happen. Yeah, me and Eugene got her out. Aren't you fucking listening? He repeats like a parrot. Right, but who did he rape then? That's a very serious allegation. No, there's a moment of silence. You're not getting a name. That's a Martinez matter and I'm not discussing it with you clowns. Why don't I just arrest you? Yeah, lawman. He takes a step closer as well, fixing his ball cap. Why don't you? Not in the arresting mood? His mean little eyes come alive with hatred. A fearful readiness, an electrical charge raises hairs in the room. Kim, by your side, the lieutenant keeps his hand away from his holster. You hear the nylon of his coat hiss as he steps closer. Easy. Walk away from the provocation. They're armed and they outnumber us. The lieutenant tries to establish eye contact with you. Easy now, let's just talk. Wise move. He leans back against the table. You made the right choice there. Now make another and get the fuck out of our booth. We're not going to do this again. So what are you going to do now? Nothing. Elizabeth's reply comes sharp. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez, go back to your stations where you belong. I think we've got to stick around, thanks. Some things don't add up here, Titus. The lieutenant closes his notebook. I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder, even if it's a group responsibility. We're going to look into this. Good luck with that. He grabs another beer. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is going to hear from us, real law officials. You're lucky you didn't get a beating. Don't forget about their games. You've mapped out the characters. Reading the footprints in the yard should be easier now. Very low chance of establishing my authority, partly because I was weak when we first met. That sucks. Beer makes me a better driver? Oh, fuck you. Okay. So there are a couple more things I can start exploring now. One of them being the footprints in the yard, which I should be able to interpret better now that I know who made them. There are several footprints in the mud left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here. The Hardys said they hanged the victim. So I've got a 58% chance. Hey! 8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud. Where else have you seen a gang of men in work boots? That's right, the Hardy boys in the mess hall of Whirling in Rags. Oh, Far, you would have been so proud of me when I punched Measurehead and then fucking spinning kicked him in the face. because that was a big boy roll as well. Go over them one by one. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 46. Just like Titus was wearing in his booth. This is the big dick, Titus Hardy. The one with the ball cap on his head. Oh, cool. I like the way it like marks them out. They didn't even bother to change boots. Putting them on the scene was easy. Maybe even too easy. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 44. Either the blonde muscular guy Glenn or the young guy with a plectrum around his neck. Yeah, I'm starting to discover that. It's really cool. Hobnailed work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 43. The inked banger, perhaps? Standard work boot, number 45 or 46. Theo, the old smoker. You think you even see a tiny fleck of cigarette ash inside the print. Another standard work boot, reinforced toes, number 44. Same as before. Either the musician Eugene or the muscle-bound blonde Glenn. Number 6, light as air. Same make of boot, but number 41. Small like a rat, Shanky. This is Unity? That honestly shocks me. Because this doesn't feel like a Unity game. I mean, I know Unity's just an engine and there's technically, like, there's so much you can do with it. But Unity games tend to have a Unity feel. This doesn't. That's really fascinating. The glowing outline of a standard work boot, number 46. The imprints are twice as deep as the others. The weight exceeds 200 kilograms. Fat Angus, carrying something. And the last one? Another standard work boot, number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole. The right sole is smoother, more worn. Curious, a missing 8th Hardy boy. 7 sets of tracks, right? The lieutenant has been tracking your eye movements. The Hardy boys were here. 8, actually. Oh, I believe you, sir, but that's really amazing. That's so? Interesting. Then one of them seems to be missing. Anything else out of the ordinary? A leader like Titus doesn't let one of his guys out of his sight easily, especially at a time like this. Light step, number 41 shoe. I'm guessing that's the skinny Hardy boy, the one with his front teeth missing. You mean the rat-faced one? Yes, well, the lieutenant thinks for a moment. He did look a bit like a rat, you're right. Do you think those prints belong to him? Yes. I think this is the most interesting point. An aberration. One sole is smoother than the other. Interesting. Let's name it the odd sole. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the missing Hardy boy. Wonder who he is. Oh, that one's easy. Way too easy. It's a driver. A driver would wear down their right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right. And remember that abandoned lorry cabin we found? With a piece of sandpaper glued to the throttle. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses as his eyes light up with excitement. Which means that the missing lady driver was also present at the lynching. That's it. She's the odd soul. She's also the one running the drug trade. Interesting. Now we know who's the 8th missing person at the lynching. Well, yeah, I feel like that's the big thing, Bar. This exact same game, like the same puzzles, the same visuals, the same everything, but with less intelligent writing, would be fine. Honestly, a lot of the puzzles are barely puzzles, but I keep wanting to play it because the characters feel so well realized. The writing is fantastic. Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. If anybody hasn't played this, by the way, I strongly recommend it. It's apparently on sale at the moment, so you can get it for even cheaper. It is one of the best games I've ever played. Do you think that that Hardy and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation? I think that the entire Union is involved. Maybe even entire Martinez. I don't think so. Those jerks definitely... not necessarily. The lady driver could have kept the drug trade a secret. You're right, but we should still go and see what Titus Hardy has got to say on the matter. This might throw them off, work in our advantage. He writes something else into his little notebook. So what else? How old do you think these tracks are? A week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us by the caller who reported the hanging. It's not impossible. How do you know? I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Revicol. 7 days below freezing. The day before, the day of this hanging, was the last warm day. Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could have taken place a week ago. Just want to mention the heavy one. He thinks for a moment. This could be the combined weight of 2 people, one carrying the other one who's tied up. Let's say a heavily built worker carrying a similarly built armored man. Maybe it was the fat hardy boy, the one sitting in the middle. He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely. Fat guy from the booth was carrying the victim. Possibly, yes. The lieutenant marks down in his notebook. We've been through all of it. Okay, so now we're connecting things. Lady on the roof? How do I get to Lady on the roof? Now I'm even more curious. I do still need to get some money or find a cheap, free place to stay. I mean, Luca, that's certainly an option.
Looks like
Fuck, Kuno probably could.
Down, but the clowns are still here.
I'm just gonna come straight out and say it. I want him to be off balance. I've connected you to the local drug trade. Like hell you have. He leans back unruffled. There is no local drug trade. This place is clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock and ask the local junkies how clean your streets are in Precinct 41 Kilos. We'll do that. In the meantime, he points south. Did you know that there's an abandoned lorry at the intersection that was used to move raw ingredients for drugs from Terminal B to Jamrock? The person driving it was present at the hanging. It was one of you. We've connected the footprints. He taps on his notebook, then turns to you. Detective, do you want to deliver the coup de grace? It's coup de grace, I believe, but I can never pronounce it right first time. There is no local drug trade, except you. That's a mighty interesting theory. He rubs his jaw, smiling. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, strong, state-run monopoly would outcompete the runts on the street. Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would do to get rid of the gangs. The dealers, even some of the junkies. You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly. He grins. For the good of the community, of course. I don't know which of these is like the right way to go. Not in terms of like the most successful, just what feels best to me. Yeah, keep telling yourself that. There's still plenty of drugs out there. No, there aren't. Some little shit and his dad are doing speed. Boo fucking who. The stuff's probably from Jamrock. Whatever you've seen is peanuts. Look at the big picture, man. The place is a paradise, and it's all thanks to the Hardy Boys. Theoretically, of course. We're just talking politics here. My answer to your drug accusation is, how dare you? Go fuck yourself. Not quite yet, Mr. Hardy. There are 8 sets of prints on the crime scene. There are only 7 Hardy Boys here. The 8th Hardy, the one who's missing. She runs the thing, right? My answer is fuck off. He takes a step closer. Mind your own business. There is no 8th Hardy. I run this goddamn scene. And here we go. It's her. It's her. She's the lady driver. I mean, she could be the one on the roof. But I think Elizabeth is the lady driver. I know, the little man raises his index finger excitedly. Fatty walked on all fours. He's so fucking fat he left 2 sets of footprints. Go fuck yourself, Dennis. Another skill point? That's more like it, boys. She turns to you. You heard him, it was Angus on all fours. Anything else you need to know? Yeah. No, that's definitely not it. I mean, obviously. Where is the 8th Hardy Boy? What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy Boy. There's 7 of us and we're all here. He sizes you up. Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardy Boy? We ain't hiring. Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe... Oh? There we go. So there's an 8th Hardy and it's a Hardy girl. Who might it be? Elizabeth, the gardener? Shut the fuck up, Glenn, he roars. I do the talking here. Now what the fuck do you want, cop? Let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy Boy, and it's a she, and you don't like us talking about her. That's right, we're not talking about this. This is a private Hardy Boy matter. Nothing to do with your shit. And, he points at the lieutenant. You're not cops here. Don't go digging around. If you don't want a bullet in the back of your head, I'm watching you. Good, we're all watching each other. The lieutenant adjusts his spectacles. Officer, your question? There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We've learned more about this 8th Hardy. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardy sooner or later. I've got a skill point. I can put 1 more skill point into authority to make that an even better chance. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna... Where's my authority? Yes. I have to do this. The fact that I got it up to 58%, now I really, really need to do it further.
It's you again. What is it?
72%. Let's go, boys. Fuck. At least it's a whack check, so I can retry it. So what you learn when playing D&D, no matter how easy a roll, you can always fail it. Kim, I need your gun. Yeah, the stomp your feet is not going to work. I'm just going to back off. That's all I got. Did you already try the gun thing? I hear the gun thing is excellent and has great results. Enjoy, Far. Have a good munch. You're probably right. The others are only here for filler, to make the gun thing pop. Turn to the lieutenant. Kim, I need your gun. Why? This is not what he thinks it is. This is a great idea. I'm afraid it's not what you think it is, either. What? Who? Me? What is it? Yes, you. Stop talking out loud. You sound like you're unraveling. Everybody calm down. This is only a demonstration. Turn to Kim. Kim, the gun, please? What in the name of fuck are you doing? Hi, Niv. But the lieutenant looks worried. He whispers, I don't want to give you my gun. The fuck is happening, Titus? What are you there whispering about? Easy, Shax. The leader gestures for him to stand up. I want to see where this is going. Trust me, Kim. I am merely flesh. I want to turn back. There is no back. Detective. He thinks of putting his hand on your shoulder, then doesn't. We don't have to demonstrate anything. Let's just get back to the questions. Trust me, Kim. I am only flesh. Merely what? He doesn't quite catch the last word. A brief moment passes in silence, then the pressure in the room grows to a boiling point. Oh? Be careful, it's loaded. He unholsters and gives you his firearm. It feels oddly light and buzzing in your hand, like a funny toy. I really want to back down, and this is not happening. Good. Now put it in your... No. No, I'm not putting it in my mouth. You know what? It is certainly an interesting result. I don't know if it's a good result, but it's interesting. What are you doing? The short, cold barrel touches your lips. It tastes like iron and hell. Genuine panic flies across the lieutenant's face. Fellas, the big guy glances over his shoulder. You getting any of this? I don't like any of these. I give the gun back to the lieutenant. Thank you. He returns it to his holster, then looks at the room. Nothing to worry about here, people. My partner likes to play jokes. He's what you call dark. He is infinitely grateful to have that gun back in his belt right now. Dark? The big guy bursts out laughing. What the fuck was that, you carnies? We haven't seen RCM in 4 years and this shows up? I knew he wasn't gonna do it, though. I knew he'd pussy out. No, I still have my money on him. The old man pulls on his cigarette slowly. Sooner or later. He has that look. You know what? I love this last one just for the non sequitur, so I'm gonna go with it. The fucking horror left me, I know it. Oof, my morale is getting low. Do not think your failed suicide attempt will win you any pity from these men. Do not expect them to forget it either. I think I fucked up. Again, it was a dark joke. He turns to you. Maybe we should go for a little walk, Joker, before we continue. Jogging around seems to have a positive effect on you. It didn't make this any worse, at least, but I'm going to have to find a way to do better at that. Cool. So...
What in the name of hell was that supposed to be?
You know what? That's a good question, Kim. The theatrical suicide attempt. We need to talk about it. Yes, I want to talk about it as well. Yes, well, I was able to recontextualize it as a dark joke. He pauses thoughtfully. I will not be able to recontextualize it the next time. I understand you sometimes employ extreme interrogation tactics, but I want you to understand, that was too extreme. We can't have RCM officers going around putting guns in their mouths. We can't afford to have that image. Few institutions can. I went with my gut feeling, and this time it was wrong. I wish to embrace the gloaming ahead of time. This undoing of the atoms calls to me. I'm gonna go with the gut feeling one, but just... That's such a beautiful response. Yes, very, very, very wrong. He nods in agreement. I'm glad you see it my way. Let's go. Oh no, I made Kim... I made Kim sad. That's the worst possible outcome. But I have some positive things I can potentially do. I want to hug Kim too. Especially after I fucked up. Trash can? No, I cannot interact with trash can. And now, I fucked up these guys' game by throwing away a ball, and I found a new ball to help him. I've successfully punched Measurehead. Yeah, Measurehead has been punched. Titus has been confronted. I know that the lady driver is one of the Hardy Boys, but I don't know who it is. That's most of it. I also faked a suicide attempt to try to establish authority. It went poorly.
Yes, that's what you need, Gaston. More padding on that fat ass of yours. I hope your heart gives out.
It went better this time because I increased physical instrument and I got drunk. So then I punched him in the throat and roundhouse kicked him in the face.
René, it's the little pleasures. Life doesn't need to be a struggle. Oh, hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day?
I want to give them back their ball. Do I have to speak to him? Or do I just have to, like, equip the ball as an item? Sometimes the controls are a little janky.
For a replacement for the bull, you sent sinking.
I found a new bull. The old veteran stares at the shot-put ball in silence, then speaks in a reserved voice. What is this? Are you mocking us? This isn't for pétanque. Oh no? Now, no need to get angry again, René. I'm sure the officer tried his best. It's not like there's a bull kiosk here in Martinez. I'm very sorry. It's the best I could find. Oh my god. I can't see if you... I'm not sure if you can read that achievement, but the achievement was literally the sorriest top on earth, an achievement for apologizing 10 times. The best, huh? He says, inspecting the ball. This isn't even a bull, but fine. I guess you did attempt to right your hooliganism. Consider it forgiven. I saw the statue of Philippe III near the roundabout. Ah yes, King Philippe III on his steed. A reminder of what Revicol once was. Oh, absolutely. Gaston smiles as if reliving a pleasant memory. At the mercy of a cocaine-snorting tyrant who emptied the treasury so he could sleep on a bed of gold. Cocaine? Cocainium? Or cocainum? Sounds like our kind of king. And just imagine what kind of cocaine a king would have had. Pétanque is an onomatopoeia for the clang sound the balls make when hitting each other. Oh, that's interesting. A superpower, feared and respected. A testament to what this country can be under the leadership of a true king. Someone who knows how to rule. What was that about cocaine? Oh, old Philippe was a big fan of the purple nose candy the nobility loved so much. Purple? A cocaine connoisseur of sorts, he chuckles. His egocentricity is borderline legendary. You can't even take responsibility for yourself. How could you fathom the responsibility weighing on the shoulders of a ruler, he asks, obviously annoyed. That's why the Philippian kings used cocaine. For clarity... Oh, excuse me. For clarity of vision, to aid in their work. Regnum cocainum, Revicol's finest years. He seems to grow taller, brimming with pride about the past. That literally means, like, the cocaine kingdom, and that's amazing. I don't know. I've never heard it said out loud. I've been saying Revicol, but if it's Revachol, I will happily change. Also, welcome. I'm only going to be playing for a few more minutes, but I'm very happy to have you here. I will try to update my pronunciation. Of course, the lieutenant remarks dryly. Clarity of vision. Awareness. Oh, We7, thank you so much for the follow. You are truly some pig. Philippe III was even brought into this world with the help of cocaine. The court medic administered a dose to his mother when she was in labor. And it is well known that with the help of cocaine, only the purest of course, he was able to connect with higher realms. Higher realms? Of course. It all makes sense. I drink alcohol and go to heaven. Fucking... Oh. I have to say that. Please, officer, don't encourage him. He quickly turns to Renee. Do spare us the cocaine fairy tales. The RCM isn't interested in them. Yes, indeed. We are here to investigate the drug trade. We are not here to investigate the drug trade of centuries past. We're here to investigate a much more recent one. But I don't think he can help me too much with that. But I wonder if Gaston can.
The sight of police in Martinez makes me safer already. How can I help you?
What do you know about the dead man? He looks at the clouds wistfully. I heard someone was hanged and left on a tree for a week, but that's all I know really. You must have heard something. No, officers, I'm sorry, and I really would like to assist, he adds, smiling apologetically. You are both good guys, I can see that. Oh, this is one of those people who cheerfully doesn't help. Then help them, you wimp. Reproach fills his eyes. You rub plenty of shoulder with the gauche caviar in the Union. Someone must know something. I wish I could, but I just don't know anything. His cheeks turn red. I always keep my nose clean and don't gossip. Everyone knows and respects that. Respects the old carabiner, or carabinier? I don't know that word. Can't believe what he's hearing. Sounds a bit like you're holding back. I'm not, he assures you. I'm not even anyone. Of course he's holding back. The carabinier crosses his arms. His mouth is so full of Union prick he can't speak properly. Oh! Interesting. Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, Renee? Interesting. A little less easygoing suddenly. His eyes are furious. I'm not anyone important in the Union. I just know Everard. How do you know Everard? Everyone in Martinez knows the Clare brothers, he says solemnly. I taught these boys human studies and history in the gymnasium. Gymnasium. I love that word. What do you know about history? The carabinier snaps at Gaston. You never witnessed history, only heard about it years later when it had already moved on. You don't know history. Okay, admittedly that is true of just everybody. That's just how history works. The old soldier mumbles something under his breath and turns to face the sea. Let's not try to get caught in the lieutenant lowers his voice. Crossfire. Lest we leave riddled with bullet holes. This animosity is ancient. Are you a Union member? Oh yes, his cheeks turn red again. In many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. I attend meetings and parties, help with little things. Everard, Edgar, and the older Debardiers all know me. In many ways? Oh yes. So you're not an actual member. Not in the technical sense. His eyes fix on the bulls in the crater. I don't have a vote or a membership card, but Everard keeps me on the payroll, just for the little things. Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of anything. I knew that. He frowns. He's a weather vane, turns to where the wind blows and tries to look important. Ooh! Oh, weather vane is such a fucking insult. I love that. I hate the socialist rabble, he continues, but even siding with them is better than living your entire life on the fence, never committed to anything. Pick a damn side already. What are the little things you do for Everard? Writing work, mostly, he smiles. Occasionally he needs something written, and I happen to have a way with words, people say. What kind of things do you write? Oh, nothing official, I assure you. Just essays for the newspapers. About Martinez and how things are, and how they could be. Everard and I have these long talks where he tells his little peg man exactly what to say. It's commie propaganda, plain and simple. You should be ashamed of yourself. That's all for now. I'm not going to ask for a bite of his sandwich. I may be Hobo Cop, but That is a line even I will not cross. Yeah. Why am I coming down here? There's nothing useful down that way. Okay, so I can go back to the harbor now. Now that I've knocked out Measurehead, I can open the door. And I think I'm going to open the door, see what's inside, and then call stream at that. I think it's a reasonable place to end stream. And importantly for me, make sure I know where I'm planning to go next week. Okay. And hopefully now, I'll be able to speak to Claire. While this loads, let me see who would be good to raid. Oh! This is like an actual office. That's actually kind of pleasant. But yeah, that's where I'm going to call it for today. Thank you all so much for joining me. I really appreciate it, and the game is fantastic. As I said, if you have the opportunity, please play this game. And like, frankly, I'm sure there are some plot points that have been technically spoiled at this point, but at the same time, there are so many different ways to play it. There are 1,000 things that you haven't seen, even if you watched me play it. So, you know, you're still going to see great new things. And I think it's definitely worth playing yourself. Yeah. What is it? Mikan Weaver? Yeah. Let's raid Mikan. I don't think I've ever raided Mikan before. So that sounds like fun. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I am planning to stream tomorrow, where I'm going to be doing some Monster Hunter World, just to fill in the gap until Rise comes out, which I'm super excited for. More Disco Elysium next week, Sunday at 2:30 Eastern Time, as it always is. Saturday, 5:30 Eastern, will be Stardew Saturday, and Wednesday, 5:30 Eastern, I will be doing more Shining Force. I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful evening. Say hi to Mikan for me. I probably won't be sticking around for too long, but as I said, you are all rad. Have a good night, Sarah. Be all dad, as we all know you are. And yeah, have a great evening. Ciao.